Hi guys, so now I am going to show you my World War I game that I've been working on. I'm not done with it yet, but this is a bit of a check-in in the middle. So first, here are the Foreign War cards. So we have a few right here. I haven't finished the rest yet, but as you can see, it says where it is. There's a nice map in the background where you can see the cities that you will be forced to fight in, how many troops are going to be needed for each side, how many can be added. It's possible for them to be added. Okay, that's an example one. And, oh, of course, how many victory points it's worth. Now, so these are the Foreign War cards. Now, one second here. Here are some of the armies. They are in these nice little boxes I made. I'm going to look at the Western Allies here. Now, and here you can see a bunch of different types of little tokens. We'll use this one as an example. This is British, as you can see by British flag and the yellow. And it's an infantry because it's in an X. One second. Here, I'll set this down and see if that'll work any better. Okay, so on top you can see on each side there are dots. Those represent how many dice are to be rolled during a combat. Depending on the strength of this particular unit. Now, red ones mark that it's harder for it to be reduced, because when it takes casualties, it is turned on its side, so it sometimes has less dots, and then it's killed once there are no more dots on top. There is also this number, which represents its movement, and then there's this letter and this number. This is an I, which shows that this is a battalion. So it's a small one. This is all for stacking purposes. And this one shows it's the 6th Battalion of Infantry. So, there's that. And so those are those. There are also generals, which are marked like this. And we'll get more into those in a bit. Okay. And the last thing, not quite the last thing here. It's an alliance token. Shows like if a diplomacy has been resolved and they have become a British and French ally, which is the Western powers at the beginning, then they are not to be join the war until the end of the term. So you place this on it to remember. Okay, and then there's one last thing in here, which are these blue ones, which are entrenchments. So there are 4 different types, each one with better, entrenchment values. So this is a level 2. And they're easy to tell because there's a little different art on them. See if I can find a different example here. Okay, here, see there's X's inside of it, and that's a level 3. So, and those help the defense a lot of the player who controls it. Now, so there are 4 of those boxes: Central Powers, Western Allies, Eastern Allies, and the neutral countries, which, when they join the war, they will go into whatever alliance they join their box. Okay, so here is the. Let me set you down. These are key. These are influence markers. Basically run the diplomacy part of the game. So, there's the Western Allies, Eastern Allies, and the Central Powers. So it's up to 3 players. Although I suppose you could have each person playing a country, although I don't know how that would be. But you place these on a country that you have influence in, and if you get to a certain number, depending on the country, then they will join your side in the war. So those are those. Next, we have the terrain chart, which says all the terrain advantages and disadvantages. And the trenches at the bottom of the fort. Then on the back, we have diplomacy chart, which is how you run the diplomacy. Here is the turn sequence chart, where you have your turn marker here, and each turn is a season, and there are different statistics. I haven't filled this in yet, and there's a few more stuff I need to put in, and then you can see there are less seasons in 1914 because it starts in the summer, and then here's the fall, winter, and then here's the spring, summer, autumn, winter, spring, summer. Yeah. So it keeps going all the way up until autumn of 1918. Now here's the general records chart, which is mainly where you track the morale of the different countries, not the alliances, but the countries. And then, which are all of these little, or not that one, these little ones. And then there are the victory point counters. And victory points are how you win the game. If you get to a certain number of them at a certain time, then you win. Now, these, basically, for each country, it says when they get their reinforcements. So, let's look at Romania here. Serbia's a good one. Okay, so in 1914, which you can read there, they get 1 infantry and 2 level 2 entrenchments. Okay, so then they get those and they place them on the map. So you can see that for each of the countries. There's quite a few. Okay, and then, what else? Oh, here are the cards. I have made quite a few cards. So, let's look at this deck, for example. This is the Eastern Allies deck. So there's a Russian one, lots of Russian ones. And they have lots of information on them. Oh, let me pick that up in a second. 1 minute here. Okay, and then here are the country, you know, if they conquer another territory, you place it on here to show that this is Swedish flag. So if Sweden conquers a territory, then you place this on there, and it shows Sweden now owns it. Here are the great power ones, a little fancier. Yep. A bunch of dice. And these are tokens to make, or which are going to be rebels and all kind of weird things. Should be kind of interesting. Now I will show you my favorite part of the game, the map. And you have tons of tokens on there right now. Start down here. Turkey. The Ottoman Empire. I don't have space for their whole empire. It would be all over this, but so we have this bit. And as you can see, they're a neutral country at the beginning, so all of their tokens are flipped over, so you can't see what they are at all. Serbia's at war. So you can see there's a fortress there, some mountains, and some trenches, basic trenches. They're all over there. Austrians are around. Romania, Austrian, Russian front over here. And then you have German-Russian front, the Eastern Front, and Russian Poland. So all Russia, and these are all different forests, because it's really forested in this area. Fortress there, forest. So it's a big forested area. Then here's the Italian front. They have a good amount there, and they have huge terrain advantages, lots of giant mountains called the Alps. So they are in a very secure position. Well, these Austrians, not so much. But they're not at war, so it doesn't matter. There's the Swiss, Spanish, and then here's France in the Western Front. You can see there are lots of Germans and lots of French, Belgians up there. Oh, this should be flipped over. I'm sorry. That's part of Belgium. And then there are the British. So, that's the world. Oh, and Scandinavia. But that's the map I made. Big old board. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day.